I am from family business. What we were discussing about family agreements and all that. 40 years back I started my business. Technically, I'm an engineer, chemical engineer. My son also is a chemical engineer. Now my worry is for my grandson. What he is.
I take that joke back that I said.
Now, see, the modern management and the requirement of the combination of the techno-commercial combination, that is lacking in our organization. Whatever I have learned with the experience, I am passing on to my son. But I think that is not sufficient. So that is what I am looking for, various avenues, and I need a little suggestions from you guys also, that how I can groom my grandson.
I'll throw something in there too, because I think that also addresses even a bigger issue of, a question that we get all the time, and that is, are you born an entrepreneur or can you be educated to be an entrepreneur? That's a daily question. But then again, you think about what business we are in, and you can obviously guess what our answer is. Of course, you can learn to be an entrepreneur. But I think, in reality, there's a combination there somewhere, because it's very true that some people are, they're born to do that sort of activity. That's, you're living it yourself. But I think that we would kind of advocate that, sure, you can go and you start your own business, you can find a banker to give you some money to do it, but we as educators provide shortcuts or safety nets by educating the second, third generation on the sort of tools you'll need to be successful, and also the sort of mindset you ought to be developing to continue that business as time goes on. So, but I think what you say is great. You're passing that knowledge on, and that's invaluable. That's a huge education right there. But I think you can complement that with some in the classroom things, like what's going on at Oakbrook or your educational institution of choice. But I think you need to balance that out a little bit. But hopefully the third generation is interested in doing it too.
I would like to share one experience. I was running an MBA program in family business. 120 students, and students always had complained. I think you will be a little amazed to know this is with regard to succession plan. The students had complaints about their families. So I thought when we had a class, why don't we invite the parents? Now, for example, that is their experience. They got the parents and they also sit with their children. So 120, I thought even if their father or mother, if they come, there will be at least another 120. Arrange in a classroom, that is the auditorium, so that the parents can also sit with their students. But to my surprise, there was only one parent who had come. And then subsequently, of course, the children said, you expect the parents to sit with their children and learn? No.
Yeah, that is
another simply experience that I want.
Well, okay, well friend, I think we have students who are very anxious in listening to it, and they must be having a lot of questions. We have faculty, so we will have some entertain about 3-4 questions and before we continue. So it's open for all of you, any faculty, any student, anything that you would like to share. It's not necessary that you have to ask the question, right? You can share something, you can tell something, how you felt about it. Yes,
First of all, I take my hat off to you that you're a social entrepreneur, because I think that I've got a lot of respect for people who go in that direction, because it's not always about making money, it's about making the world a better place to live in. So therefore, it's hats off to you. Ironic, well, I shouldn't say it's ironic, but what we see within the U.S. and our student base is that the subject of social entrepreneurship is becoming more and more of a hot topic, and more students are getting interested in doing this and solving problems about obesity in the U.S. or unclean water, things like that. And so what we found that is within our curriculum anyways is that there's actually an awful lot of these general entrepreneurship concepts that really apply into an NGO. So I think that if, so you go to school here, if you're following the entrepreneurship curriculum, it's a lot of the stuff parallels, between a for-profit business and a non-profit business where, you need to identify the opportunity, figure out how to fund it. Funding sources are going to be different, obviously, and, perhaps the legal side is going to be a little bit different, but I think that the foundation is there within the curriculum that you've got already, and it's just that if the specific curriculum around creating an NGO was not here, the unfortunate piece is you'd have to research it, and quite honestly, in India I have no idea how you actually create an NGO, but I'm sure that the information's out there, but I highly, highly encourage you just to take as many entrepreneurship courses as you possibly can, because it's the same sort of thing. But again, hats off to you for doing what you're doing.
Finally, anything you would like to share? Share? Any student? And our director is Trivandi to offer to Mr. Tom. Thank you. We appreciate